Welcome to the Daily Exhale. I'm Julianne Arce. Vulnerability has often been misunderstood as weakness, something to hide, something to protect ourselves from. In a world that values strength, independence, and perfection, the act of being vulnerable can feel like an invitation to be judged, rejected, or hurt. But the truth is, vulnerability is not something to fear. It is the birthplace of true connection, authenticity, and healing. It is through embracing vulnerability that we find our true strength. Today, I want to invite you to embrace your vulnerability and to allow yourself to be seen fully, openly, and without the mask of perfection. Because when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you open the door to greater love, deeper connections, and a more fulfilling life. Take a moment and breathe. Notice any tightness in your chest or your heart. Perhaps you've been holding on to fears about showing who you really are. Perhaps you've been afraid that if others see you for who you truly are, they may not accept you. But I want you to know there is an immense strength in showing up as you are. And there is courage in allowing yourself to be seen, even when it feels raw and uncertain. And vulnerability is not about weakness. It's about openness. It's about willingness to reveal yourself, even when it feels uncomfortable or scary. When you embrace vulnerability, you acknowledge that you are human, flawed, beautiful, complex, and enough just as you are. It is in this space of vulnerability that you allow others to connect with you on a deeper level. And it is in this space that you are truly connected with yourself. Imagine for a moment what it would feel like to release the need for perfection, to let go of fear of being judged or rejected, and to simply be in your truth. To show up in the world with all your imperfections, your fears, your tenderness, your strength, and your beauty. What if you could stop pretending to have it all together and simply allow yourself to be vulnerable? To share your truth without needing it to be polished or perfect. And the power in vulnerability is that it allows you to be real. It allows you to live authentically, without hiding behind the walls of expectation, fear, or self-doubt. And it's in authenticity that true strength is born. You don't need to be perfect to be strong. You don't need to have everything figured out to be worthy. You are strong because you are brave enough to be yourself, regardless of how others may perceive you. Vulnerability also opens the doors to connection. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you give others permission to do the same. It's through vulnerability that we experience the deepest connections, whether it's in our relationships, our work, or in our own lives. It is through vulnerability that we heal, grow, and transform. We let down our walls and we show up as we are. We invite others to see us not as the perfect, polished version of ourselves, but as the beautiful, imperfect being that we are. Let me remind you that you do not need to have it all together to be worthy of love, connection, and belonging. Vulnerability is not about exposing weakness. It's about exposing your humanity. It's about showing up in your truth without the need to hide behind facades or pretenses. You are worthy of love in your vulnerability, in your imperfections, in your messy moments. As you continue on your journey, remember that vulnerability is not a one-time act. It is a practice. It is a practice of showing up as you are, of sharing your heart openly, and of embracing your perfections with love and acceptance. It is the practice of trusting that the world will hold you, not because you are perfect, but because you are real. And take a deep breath and feel the strength and vulnerability. It is in this space that you are free to be who you truly are. It is in this space that you find the courage to show up again and again, without the need to hide or mask your truth. You are allowed to be vulnerable. You are allowed to be seen. And in doing so, you invite in the world to witness your authentic beauty, your strength, and your heart. Move forward with the courage to embrace your vulnerability. It is where your true power lies, where your deepest connections are forged, and where your most authentic life unfolds. You are worthy of showing up as you are. And in this space of truth, you will find a strength that is unshakable because it comes from the deepest part of you, the part that is unafraid to be vulnerable, unafraid to be seen, and unafraid to love yourself just as you are. And thank you for joining me today on the Daily Exhale. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste, sweet friend.